I needed more. I literally was craving more for my life. And my journey of self-love and self-discovery is really what led me to want to be a coach.
Hey Queens, yeah you know who you are. God, come on, go ahead and put that crown on your head. Now tilt a little to the left, now a little to the right. Perfect. Now let's get to work, cause we know you got big goals and you got big dreams and not afraid to let them know. Why? Cause you step into your purpose, you speak out on your faith, and you shift up in your journey, cause you a boss. Welcome to the podcast Drop the Expiring Act with your host Veli of QueenBayGoals.com, reminding you that you are a queen before anything else. It's your life and your goals. Make it royal. All right, y'all. Go ahead and work that crown. Hey, Queen Bays. Welcome to another episode of the Drop the Inspiring Act podcast. Today I have with me Leticia Francis, who is a business mindset coach. Hi, Leticia. Welcome to the podcast.
Hello. How are you? Thanks for having me.
I'm glad you're here. So tell us, what is a business mindset coach? Because when I saw that, I'm like, I love it. Because one of the Queen Bay goals is, shifting your mindset. And you're a whole mindset coach. So tell us about that.
I help women really, I like to say, get their minds right so that they can step into a success mindset. Mm-hmm. And there is a lot that comes with that, right? So my role as a mindset coach, particularly a business mindset coach, is really preparing women to work through the narratives that have kept them stuck and it's keeping them from being successful. So we talk about, procrastination. We talk about excuses. We talk about hesitation to change. We even talk about your relationship with money, because all of that is important when you are looking to build a business, or even if you're just looking for success in your life. We all know, we've all heard it before, business is 20% strategy and 80% mindset. So my goal and my passion is about helping women, like I said, get their minds right so that they can overcome the things that will hold them back when starting a business.
Oh, I love that. I love that. So you help businesswomen and career women?
Yeah. So my focus, my business is twofold. So I started off in mindset coaching, and my primary focus was helping women overcome their limiting beliefs, really release the toxic emotions that are keeping them stuck, helping them identify their core values, and then showing them how to align their actions with their core values so they can see contentment and fulfillment in their lives, right? And in that process, my clients were telling me, you know what, I want to start a business, but I'm scared. I want to start a business, but I don't know where to start. So I, evolved my business to help my tribe get started in business. So, I started off just focusing on a mindset, but it has evolved because I am really, really passionate about seeing Black women in particular step outside of the subservient role that society places on us and stand in their own power, take ownership of their lives so that we can step into the power that we have as Black women.
Oh, I love it. Oh my gosh, I love it. Girl, we can talk here for hours now. But I want to start with your aspiring act, because you said before you jumped into this role, you were aspiring for 8 years. So take us to the 8 years before you got into this. What was happening in that 8 years before?
Okay, so I've had a rough life. I dealt with parental rejection. I entered into a very violent relationship at the age of 14, which resulted in me being stabbed by my husband. And during that period, once I left, I spent a lot of time soul searching. I knew that I needed more. I literally was craving more for my life. And my journey of self-love and self-discovery is really what led me to want to be a coach. I was in commercial insurance for 14 years, and I knew day one that I hated insurance. Right. But I got a full scholarship. I got a full scholarship to Georgia State. And it's not like you can't just go in and change your major when you got a full scholarship. Like I was being sponsored by an insurance company. So I couldn't even say, well, maybe I'll just go into business. I had to stay and I had to make it work. And I moved to England 2013. And I didn't want to go into insurance. But, I moved from a country, I'm originally from Bermuda. I moved from a country that I made really, really good money to a country where really, really good money was probably a quarter of what I was making before.
Wow. That's
so,
a change.
Yeah, I was almost forced into commercial insurance, right? And that process for me was like, this is not it, particularly in England. It's not it. It's not it. Like, I'm an island girl. I have an island girl personality. I was in organizations where I was the only one that looked like me with this huge personality that people were like, you don't fit in here. So for me, that process, I spent 8 years really miserable because I knew that this wasn't my place. But, new country, new culture, and I had to make it work. I stayed. And I stayed and did my best to build my career. But I wasn't fulfilled at all. And, it gets to a point where the money is great, but I actually want to get up and go and do what I'm going to do for 8 to 9 hours a day, so.
Right. So
that was my before.
Yeah. You took us into a little bit of your royally effed moment, because this is when you're like, okay, this is not it.
Not it.
So what shifted for you to change from, okay, this is not the place I want to be? So what do you think shifted when you decided to just step out and go do what you wanted? What shifted for you?
I had 2 babies back to back. And in the UK, you have up to 12 months maternity leave. So in a period of 3 years, I was out of my job for 18 months. And in that period, I was definitely so searching, really, really looking for something else to do. And to be honest, I started a counseling degree. It didn't feel right. I've always wanted to help because of my domestic violence past. I've always wanted to work with women, but the counseling didn't sit right with me. And actually, the moment that I realized was 6 hours after giving birth to my child. I was a manager. I was the second in command in my department. And prior to going on maternity leave with my first daughter, like, it was chaos. And I spent my entire pregnancy trying to clean up the mess.
Oh, wow.
To the point where it was so stressful. I had preeclampsia because my blood pressure was high. So, you become aware of what's going on with your body.
Right.
I returned after that first pregnancy with my daughter to, when I say absolute chaos, I mean, it was horrific what I came back to, because in those 10 months that I was out of work, no one did my work. So I came back cleaning up the mess, and I spent 18 months cleaning it up in between me going on maternity leave again. And I left early because I was stressed out. So I left 3 weeks early, and I left instructions. If you need anything, reach out to me before I have the baby.
Should have been, if you need anything, don't call me, but go
I
ahead.
know, reach out to me before I have the baby. 6 hours after giving birth, I sent my boss an email announcing my child. And my coworker replied to that email, my personal email, demanding information about work. And for me, that was so disrespectful.
Yeah, I can see where we got that.
Yeah, it was, I mean, there was no coming back from that. I couldn't even tell my husband about that because he would have absolutely lost his mind, right? So it was so disrespectful. And I sat there in the hospital room and I said, I don't care what it is that I do. I'm going to figure it out. I wasn't in the financial position to say that I'm going to leave and not go back. But I wanted to put something into motion that when I went back, I had an exit plan. And I worked with a coach while I was going through my divorce and at other stages in my life. And that experience was transformational for me. And I remember someone shortly after I came out of the hospital, she had come to see my baby and she was dumping stuff on me. And she said to me, I don't know what it is about you. You're so easy to talk to. You make me feel at ease. Whatever it is that you do for a living, you're doing the wrong thing.
Right.
And so, with the combination of everything that had happened, I kind of just fell into coaching because somebody else had told me something very similar, maybe 24 hours before that. And I had to listen, when you're on this journey for, clarity, you have to listen to the signs around you. Otherwise you miss it.
That's what I was going to say. I love that you were getting that outside confirmation.
Yeah. So I fell into coaching. I went and did several certifications because I'm a geek at heart, if I'm honest. I'm a person that I want all of the information, right? And then I'm armored. I'm prepared for anything. Right. So I got several certifications and I started my business,
Right. I love it. So you came out of that royally F moment and you're like, I'm going to be fierce. And you're standing in your own fierceness now, which I love. So tell us about this new place that you're in.
Well, I just want to say this one thing, right? I went back to work. I went back to work to the exact same situation. It was like Groundhog Day when I went back. But because I had this side business, I was like, you know what? I've been working from home for the last 5 years. I'm going to utilize this to advance my business. And I got to a point where I was really tired of what was going on in the office. You know what I mean? At that point, I was the second most senior in the office. They had a completely new team and I returned the second time. Oh, wow. And there was a lot that had happened in between that time. And I came back to, for lack of a better terms, a pissing competition between my manager and so my company merged with another company. Okay. And they tried to merge the two teams together. And the previous manager of the old team came in with a chip on his shoulder. Oh, okay. No one on the old team had any melanin. So he was used to dealing with just white people. And he came in hot. He came in very hot. Wow. And he thought that I was a typical British girl that put politeness over respect. No. And he came in and he disrespected me several times. And I'm not about the disrespect. I do my work well. If you have a problem with my work, then we can talk about it. If you have a problem with my personality, that's on you. But you are not going to step on my toes. And for me, my absolute breaking point, I had that breaking point where it created my business. But my absolute breaking point was being on a call, being shouted at and cursed at by this man. and my manager blaming me.
Wow.
And that was the moment I was like,
No.
deuces, we are not putting up with this. And, that's a narrative for a lot of people, having to put up with disrespect in order to take care of the family.
Right.
So for me, that, I want to say, got me out of the door. So now I'm full-time, and I really want to be able to take that, my experiences, and use it as hope and inspiration for other people. I use the term plantation quite openly because I believe that the modern day workplace, particularly corporate environments, are just that. We have to sacrifice family time, personal time, health to build someone else's dreams.
Right.
And they don't invest equally in us, right? So we're here picking the cotton so the slave master can make the money. And we are doing it at the detriment of us. And I probably forgot your question.
No. No. So I was saying, how did you go from your royally effed moment to your royally fairs moment? And you were explaining it well.
Okay, sorry.
It's okay.
So yeah, I just wanted to be able to take those experiences, which is why my business evolved. A lot of women that I was working with at the time were telling me, I wish I could do what you did. Because I openly share my experience with my clients, with my tribe, whoever follows me on social media. And people will come to me saying, when I announced that I had resigned, I wish I could do that. And as a result, my business evolved so that I not only just focus on the mindset, I focused on giving women the opportunity to be self-sufficient, really take the knowledge and the experience that they're using in the corporate environment or in the career, and flip that so that they are using it for themselves. They are stepping into the power for themselves. I'm tired. Straight up, I am tired of seeing women sacrifice all that they have and all that they are to find a balance between raising children and making money.
Right.
And I'm tired of it. So I'm committed to changing that narrative.
I love it. So what do you say to those women who are still in that place where they're still in their F moment and they just haven't realized that there's a way out? What would you say to that woman?
It starts with a burning desire to make something different happen for you, right? Like nothing changes unless something changes. And it's important that, I like to say that when we have these desires, it is our manifestation of our power. We don't have these desires. We don't have these burning ideas because we can't make it happen. We have them because we can. And it starts with a decision to believe in ourselves, like really get solid. Like, listen, a lot of us are managers, been in the same role for 15, 20 years, some of us, right? That is not someone who doesn't know what they're doing.
Right.
You are there because that company sees that you bring value to them. And it's about pardon me?
I said, you're coaching me right now.
But it's about harnessing that power that you're giving away at minimal value, because they're not paying you your worth, right? You're giving it away at minimal value. Take that and create something for yourself. I started off in mindset coaching. I evolved into business coaching because that's what I was doing in my 9-to-5. I was creating business units for this company. So if I can create business units for a multinational, multi-million pound company, I can build my own company. Right. And then I can help somebody else build their own company. And it's about harnessing your zone of genius, what you do well, what you like to do, and create something for yourself because you believe in yourself, you trust yourself. And although you have fear, you can work through that. So believe in yourself. That, I mean, I can't say it any better. It starts with a belief in yourself, and take that belief to the end. Ride with that, right?
I
Because
love it.
as long as you believe you can make it happen, if you're a mother, you know what I'm about to say. As a mother, we move heaven and earth to do what we need to do for our children. I want you to take that idea as if it was your firstborn child and move heaven and earth to make it happen for yourself.
I love that, because that's like one of the first things for the Queen Bee goals. It's finding that belief in yourself. So I love that. That was perfect. So you're giving me all the coaching vibes right now. So how can my listeners come find you? How can they come and work with you?
I spend a lot of time on Instagram. So Black Rose Coaching. Black is spelled BLAQUE, Rose, ROSE, Coaching, COACHING. Hit me up on Instagram, follow me. I put up daily stories with value. I do weekly live trainings to help you get your mind right. So, you know, reach out to me, say hello, let's start a conversation in the DM. Yeah.
I love it. So what do you have coming up? Because I know you said you have like a coaching group coming up. So tell me about that.
Yeah, so at the end of September 27th, I'm going to be starting my first ever group program. And it's a collaborative of women who are ready to work on the mindset and receive business strategies so that they can build their service-based business from the ground up. In this program, we work on getting you clear about who you serve and how you serve them, getting you intimate knowledge of your ideal client so that you can create your first service that addresses a problem that your ideal client has. It's about showing you how to get visible, get online, show up as an authority so people will know, like, and trust you. And because you've created a service that speaks to their most pressing issue, they're going to buy from you like hotcakes. Oh, wow. Working on your mindset. So addressing procrastination, addressing excuses, uncovering the reasons why you are fearful. Also addressing your money story, like really getting to the root of the relationship you have with money. And a lot of people overlook that. But if your money story, your money relationship isn't sound when starting a business, you're going to have problems being successful. So we are going to work on all of the common barriers that keep people from being successful in the business. And when there's amazing women walk away from that collective, they will have a solid foundation to a new service-based business. They will have plans and points of actions for the next 3 years so that they can move forward and leave that soul-sucking career behind.
So I do have two questions. One, where can we sign up? And two, is it just for newbies? Like, can people who have already started, but they haven't really like gone to that next level, can people who have already started sign up for it as well?
Yes. So I focus on taking people from idea to business, but also focus on taking people who have started business back to the basics. Because I think a lot of people don't do the foundational work, which is why they struggle with the business. I find a lot of people start businesses and focus on themselves instead of their ideal clients. So it's about shifting the focus, because your business is never about you. You reap the benefits of your business action, but in order for your business to be successful, you have to make your business about your ideal client. And I think that is the step that a lot of people miss when getting started. So it's about taking you back to the basics, showing you how to do the market research, showing you how to create a competitive advantage for yourself using your zone of genius, so that you can build a solid foundation. So I work with women. One of the women that I just finished working with had been in business for 4 years and had not made money in her business. And in less than a week, she sold out her first group program.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
Yeah. So, it's about really just making sure the foundation's right. It's just the same as building a house. You can build the walls first, but if that foundation isn't solid, your walls are going to crumble. So it's making sure that that foundation is right so that you can build on that and be successful.
All right. And we can sign up for this on your website as well?
Yes, you can sign up on my website, or just by simply starting a conversation with me in the DM. I start a lot of my coaching relationships in the DM.
Okay.
It gets down in the DM. Yes.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So we always end our podcast with a quote, and the guests are given a quote, and yours was, "Walk as if every step is about to make an avalanche. You are here to change the world. Don't forget it." So is that a Leticia Francis quote?
That is my quote. That is my quote.
I
love it too.
How you come up with it, and why is that something you live by?
I think people, period, miss the opportunity to be impactful because they are scared of what that looks like for other people. We are here to make an impact. We are all here to change the world, and we have to believe it. Like I said, it starts with a belief in yourself. But once you are really solid with that, you have to be unapologetic about making the impact in your life, right? In the world. And, it's interesting, I have a psychology background initially, and I know about the Maslow's triangle, self-actualization, and it's about taking the difficulties, taking the after moments, taking all of that and using it as stepping stones and lessons so that when you reach the top of that pyramid, you can use that to give back to others. And I truly believe in that. So I like to encourage people today, start showing up, start making an impact, because we are all here for a reason. We are all here for a reason.
I love that. So that's where we're going to end, you guys. We're all here for a reason. Make sure you go to blackrosecoaching.com and check out or join her group coaching program that's coming up, because it sounds amazing. Like, I got so much coaching out of this podcast already. So I can imagine what you'll get inside of the training program itself. So I'll put all the links down in the show notes, guys. Make sure you check them out and come back and listen to another episode of the Drop the Aspire Night podcast. Leticia, thanks for hanging out with me today.
Thank you for having me.
All right. I'll see you guys in the next episode. You have been listening to another episode of Drop the Aspiring Act. If you're looking for more information of this podcast and other episodes, please visit queenbaygoals.com.